We are pleased to welcome now Shannon Kellogg, AWS Vice President of Public Policy for the Americas. Hey, Shannon.
Hi, Gerard. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks so much for coming on to talk about the investment that Amazon Web Services is going to be making in the state of Mississippi. We're incredibly excited about this.
Well, Gerard, thanks for having me, and we're excited too. This investment is a very substantial one for us. $10 billion is what we're going to be investing here in Mississippi as part of this big data center project. And I know that this is a record investment for Mississippi, but it's a big deal to us, and we're really pleased with our welcome to the state so far.
Yeah, and we are so glad you're coming. So I've been out to the site, the mega site in the Canton area, and of course there's a south site, South Madison County as well, two sites where a number of buildings will be located comprising these hyperscale data center facilities. But, man, construction's underway. Lots of concrete, lots of big machinery out on the parcels. What is the status?
Yeah, well, so we have broken ground, and just only a few weeks ago, we actually had a groundbreaking ceremony there with many of our partners in the state as well as the county, and a number of leaders at the federal level as well. So It was really fantastic to do that event. We've broken ground. We're starting to get going as we construct these data centers over the next couple of years. And so we're really, as I said earlier, pleased about the overall investment. We're going to be creating at least 1,000 new jobs. And as these data centers are constructed, of course, there are a lot of construction workers that are, going to be part of that project, and a lot of electricians, and then eventually we'll have technicians and security personnel and others in the actual facilities as they go up.
Last time I checked the AWS services catalog, Shannon, it looked to me like there were about 200 distinct services, cloud-based services provided by AWS. Is the plan to offer some or all of those services in these facilities in Mississippi?
Yeah, as these buildings go up and as we launch these new data centers, we do build out a number of services that are offered through these regional footprints, like we're building in Mississippi. Not every service will be available from day one, but you'll see more and more services added, as we expand our operations in a data center complex like this.
Gotcha. So we've also got Ed Gardner, Vice President of Business and Economic Development with Entergy Mississippi. Hey, Ed.
Hey, Gerard. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. So Entergy played a critical role in landing this project, the AWS investment here in Madison County, Mississippi. Tell us about that. And it's been going on a long time.
Well, Gerard, as you know, as my fellow Madison County Economic Development Authority board member, you had a front row seat to this project and know that it's gone back 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And so, not to tell the long story, but the real short version is we saw an opportunity 6, 7, 8 years ago, and I think you were part of that conversation, that we thought we could support hyperscale data centers in Mississippi, and we were looking for an opportunity to attract more tech-based industry to our service territory. So we started looking into it. We had a great relationship with a good friend that works for AWS. And over the years, we just kept working, and basically we took a very customer-centric, focused approach and just kept talking to AWS of what do you need, what would it take, what are you looking for when you're looking for any location for these facilities, and speed to market, and what are things we can work on to make Mississippi more competitive. And we just worked on it for 4 or 5 years, and like many things, when you're prepared, when something comes down the pipe, then you can move a lot quicker and you really increase your chances. So a long process of working together with the Madison County Economic Development Authority and Joey Deason, with MDA at this state, and of course our partners at AWS. So a very exciting project for Central Mississippi.
Shannon, obviously AWS has hyperscale data centers throughout the planet. I mean, you got them all over the world, and that's necessary to deliver the services you do to such a huge client base and user base. I know you've got a concentration in Virginia, of course, at the company's headquarters in Washington State, Indiana, other states. Why Mississippi?
Well, for a number of reasons. First of all, Entergy has been just a fantastic partner in this process. They have been a really forward-leaning utility partner that engaged us early, as Ed said, and really have been looking, since that time to figure out how to get us to say yes, right? Mm-hmm. And we've said yes enthusiastically. In large part because of that partnership. And you also look at the work that we've done at the county level with you all in Madison County, at the state level with the governor and his team and all the legislators. It has just been a fantastic partnership. You all in local government and state government have been incredibly responsive too. And I run our organization for the Americas, so I work with a lot of state governments, I work with national governments, I work not only all across the U.S. and Canada, but all across Latin America. And so I deal with a lot of utility partners and a lot of government partners. And I have to tell you, you all have moved quickly, decisively, and in Mississippi, and have moved this along very, very fast. Once we got to the point in those conversations where we were interested in executing, and you all executed very, very quickly in a deal that's not just good for us and our customers, but a deal that's good for Mississippi, a deal that's good for Madison County, a deal that's also good for Canton and the school districts and other jurisdictions that are spread throughout the area. So this is, I think, a positive development for everyone. And again, state leaders, local leaders, and Entergy have moved to execute very, very quickly.
Appreciate that, Shannon. That's great to hear. So, Ed, this is going to increase Entergy's electricity footprint considerably, both in terms of generation and transmission, and it will also incorporate a significant amount of renewable energy. And I know AWS has a strong commitment to renewable energy and to also supplement the energy provided by the utility companies with energy that they invest in as well.
You're absolutely right, Jordan. That's what, the great things about this project is it's great for our customers in Mississippi as well. We had announced several years ago an economic development with green energy program where we were going to build out 1 gigawatt of solar. And we had that approved, and we were trying to deploy that to meet our targets for climate goals, but also to attract industry that had the same goals, because we know that's extremely important to a lot of large companies these days. And honestly, we were waiting on a customer that would allow us to deploy these resources. Yeah. And that's one of the great things about this partnership with AWS is now we'll be able to deploy 650 megawatts of solar with the opportunity for more. And those facilities, by the way, will be spread across 5 or 6 other counties across Mississippi. So the impact from this project is not just in Madison County and the Jackson metro area. This is going to go all across our service territory in Mississippi.
Shannon, we got a couple of minutes left. I know every time AWS makes these sort of investments, you're really dedicated to and focused on workforce development and just providing benefits to the local communities. Talk about that.
Yeah, thank you, Gerard. We are, I always say that once we invest in an area, we're going to be there, for a long, long time. And because we're going to be there for a long, long time, we're going to become a part of your community and we're going to invest in it. And so everywhere we go, we sponsor different types of workforce development and skills training programs. We are establishing a new Amazon Community Workforce Accelerator in Madison County, and that is going to feature an assortment of workforce development programming, which is going to be targeted roles inside and outside of AWS data centers. So it's not just going to be within AWS data centers. There will be other places that will benefit from this training. Certainly our company, but other partners and vendors and organizations throughout the community. And it'll include areas like networking and fiber skills, and a whole number of other skills. We've also announced for elementary and middle school age students a program that we're donating $200,000 worth of equipment, curriculum, and training with a matching donation from the Accelerate Mississippi initiative to seed new programs in Madison, Canton, and Jackson public schools.
We got to go. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Shannon. We got to go, but we're going to talk about this some more, and the main point is lots of other benefits. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
Thank you, Gerard.
Thank you, bud. Thanks, Shannon. Thanks, Gerard.